Hi everyone, welcome back to Maths for Kids. My name is Justin. In today's video, we will be looking at column multiplication. I hope you have been learning your times tables, as this will help you enormously. We will be looking at timesing 2-digit numbers by 1-digit numbers. Here we have a question, 21 times 3. To do this, we need to write it down in the column multiplication way. This is what it looks like. We would start by doing 3 times 1. That gives us 3. So we write 3 underneath the 3. Next, we would move on to the 2. 3 times 2 is 6. So we write a 6 underneath the 2. And there we have the answer. 21 times 3 equals 63. Here we have another question. 14 times 6. We would have to write it down in the column multiplication way. It looks like this. Then we would do 6 times 4. That would give us 24. But 24 has 2 digits. So we need to put the 4 in the column and the 2 underneath the column, like this. Next, we would go to the 1 and we would ask ourselves, what is 6 times 1? 6 times 1 is 6, but we still have the 2 remaining. So we would do 6 add 2. That would give us 8. So we would write an 8 in the column. So now we know that 14 times 6 is 84. Here is another question. 15 times 5. We would write it out as usual. Then we would do 5 times 5. That gives us 25. It has 2 digits. So we would put the 5 from 25 in the column and we would put the remaining 2 underneath the column. Then we would move on to the 1 and ask ourselves, what is 5 times 1? 5 times 1 is 5, and we would add on the remaining 2. That gives us 7. So we put a 7 next to the 5 in the column. Now we know that 15 times 5 is 75. Another question is 25 times 7. We would write it out using the multiplication method. Then we would ask ourselves, what is 7 times 5? 7 times 5 is 35. So we would put a 5 in the column and the 3 remaining underneath the column, like this. Then we would move on to the 2. We would ask ourselves, what is 7 times 2? 7 times 2 is 14. So we would add on the 3 remaining. 14 and 3 is 17. So we would write 17 in the column. That gives us the answer. 25 times 7 is 175. Here we have another question. 49 times 3. We would write it down using the multiplication method. It looks like this. Then we would ask ourselves, what is 3 times 9? 3 times 9 is 27. So we would write a 7 in the column and a 2 underneath the column. Then we would go to the 4. We would do 3 times 4, which is 12. we would add on the remaining 2. That gives us 14. So we would put 14 in the column. It looks like this. The answer is 147. Another question is 53 times 6. We would write it out using the column multiplication. We would ask ourselves, what is 6 times 3? 6 times 3 is 18. So we would put an 8 in the column and leave a 1 underneath the column. Next we will go on to the 5 and do 6 times 5. 6 times 5 is 30, and we add on the remaining 1. 30 add 1 is 31, so we would write 31 in the column. The answer to 53 times 6 is 318. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Carry on practicing. See you soon for my next video. Bye!